One, two, check it. Peace to the family. 747 24/7. How y'all feeling? How are y'all feeling? What is up? Oh man, I'm feeling so good right now. Shout out to the movement. Shout out to you and yours. I want to say I love y'all. Oh my goodness, man. Such a day. It is such a day, man. Shout out to the Messiah Code family. You know who you are. 747 24/7. 361 degrees. I just wanted to do a little short check-in with y'all, man. I'm gonna record this moment for life, man. You know, record the idea of sending thoughts to the universe and sending prayers and offering prayers up. Man, my son, my first son, he actually had his first son today. 12/20. Wow, it is a blessing. As you know, my mother's birthday is tomorrow, 12/21. So it is truly a blessing. It's a sign from up above or within that, you know, the elders are watching over. My mother is watching over. If you don't know, I lost my mother this year. Let me turn this music down a little bit. I'm just grooving, man. Wanted to have something upbeat, uplifting, and I just wanted to just fall in for a second and talk about some stuff. Yeah, man. So, yeah, I lost my mother this year on January 3rd, which is 1/3, of course. And I gained 2 grandsons this year. 2 grandsons. Man, this has been a whole... Shout out to 2023, man. It's been a roller coaster of a year. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Share the video wherever you at. Wherever you at across the world, share the video. Peace to the Messiah Code movement. Peace to you. You know who you are. Yo, man. It's a blessing. It's really a blessing to be able to experience life, man. So anything I gotta share with you tonight, let me see, make sure you guys can hear me clear. Yeah. All right, cool. Y'all can hear me. Yeah, man. It's like, it's about legacy. What we're living. Well, you know, the purpose of life. The purpose of life, you know, it's about growing, gaining information, and passing it on to the next generation. And allowing the next generation to mix it up, do something great with the information that you brought here to this form of manifestation. Okay. Now, collectively, people call it whatever. They have different belief systems. They have different ways that they connect up to the universe. You know, it's not up to you to more or less, you know, I'm just saying for everybody with children and stuff like that that are growing and coming into their own. It's not up to you to dictate to the pace or try to control someone's belief system or how they should believe or how they should live in some sort of way. The best thing you should do is just be the example. You feel me? That's all. It's just all about it's just all about being an example rather than trying to force your hand. I figured that out the hard way. I ain't gonna lie to you. I just wanted to express a couple thoughts to y'all, man, about life itself and how it feels to be a pinnacle, of the next generation. You know, when I look at my grandson, I'm looking to 100 years into the future. I'm looking 100 years forward into my future. All right? So the idea is to set a great example. I tell people, man, we are the gods and goddesses that they will be worshiping thousands of years from now. Thousands of years. So when you look, think about it. Like back in the day, we barely got pictures of ourselves in the 80s and better yet the 70s. You know, when our peoples were living in the 70s and the 60s. Let alone before that, we don't got pictures and we don't got different things of who they were. That's why I said you are great, because we live in a day and time where our lives are literally recorded for the next and next and next and next and next generation. You hear what I'm saying? So that's why I say be great. Be great in your own right. When they look back at you, they can look at an ancestor. That's what, you know, your great grandchildren, they look at you as an ancestor. You know, and then you go into the genealogy of men, and you think about the world, how it has come into being. It has come into being through the relationship of woman and man. All right? I'm going to tell you what men offer in the sense of genetics and what we do. We explore the universe and make it known, because we are the light, as the woman is the darkness. The light explores the universe. It searches out dark regions of the universe to shine its light upon it. All right? So, universally speaking, we have a relationship between one another that is monumental when it comes to raising a child, raising a family, raising a legacy. You hear me? Yo, man, I call y'all messiahs for a reason, yo. I seriously call y'all messiahs for a reason. And you might ask me, well, what is that reason, Lamel? Why are we called? Why? Because it's been many different, I would say, spiritualities that you probably have come into. And even when it comes to this Messiah terminology, people have took the throne for themselves to claim messiahship. Within this, of the codex, in this day and time of what we call the New Age, Tanun. Some people call it Aquarius, but some people call it whatever they want to call it. But within this New Age, we collectively represent that body, which is called the Messiah. All right? We collectively represent that body called the Messiah. And it's up to us to do what is necessary to perform the tasks that are needed. All right? Now, the 1 through 31, let me break this down, man. Men and women lie, numbers don't lie. We are on what is considered to be the winter solstice. This is a celebrated moment. This moment was really celebrated from generations and generations and generations on end. And you might say, well, why is that? This is a time of life, if you want to call it that. You know, it's a time of darkness because it would be the darkest day of the year between today and tomorrow, or tomorrow and today, however you want to call it. The winter solstice is the darkest day, but it's the feminine principle. It's actually when we go into the feminine principle of our diaspora, how we revolve around the center, or the centrifuge of our energy. All right? We come into that darkest moment, or the feminine principle. That's what we go and reflect on. You feel me? Messiah. Like, I keep things basic. I keep things basic because the 1 through 31 simply represents a body that we all exist fundamentally within a certain position within this body of what we call the Messiah. This is nothing new. Like, you go into the Bible, when they talk about 1 Corinthians 12:24, wow, that's linked up with Christmas 12:24, talking about Christ again, or talking about the Messiah. All right, it talks about how we collectively represent the body itself. All right, and then when they split up the body parts of Osiris, when they chopped up the body parts and spread the body parts all over the world, they're talking about the lost tribes collectively coming back once again. Because Osiris was actually transformed, the word phonetically was transformed to Sora, or Asura, like the same thing that's written as a chapter for the Quran, because every chapter of the Quran is called Asura. So Asura means a picture of sort, like a picture that you create in your imagination, in your mind. It's something that you create in the idea of what you want to manifest. That's what this simply is. All right? And when they place the direction of Allah in the Quran, they place the direction the same place of ancient Egypt as the Wajed. The same thing, because they say that Allah is in every direction, and the eye, or the all-seeing eye, is in every direction, watching and witnessing everything. And the Taino, the great Taino people, my people, all right, we said Aku. We gave reference to the all-seeing eye as saying Aku, all right? And this was the witness. This was a divine witness, because we speak a truth, the other person speaks the truth, and there is a universal truth to all of this. And we all pay for our deeds and our actions. All right? We all pay for these things. So that's why we seek redemption. That's why we seek forgiveness, nitma, or grace. That's why we seek these things in a realm of messiahship. All right? We're not boasting enough whereas though we don't aim and ask for forgiveness. I tell people, yo, in order to find yourself, what? You first go on all fours. All fours. All fours. Why is that? Because you find your direction on all fours. North, east, south, and west. Also, adding, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Fire, air, water, earth. You get on all fours, you'll truly find yourself. And this was also connected up to the 12 jewels, because at the bottom you got 4, which is your foundation. This is the bottom of your pyramid. If you ever look at the pyramids, you notice that they're on all fours. Am I right or wrong? The pyramids that stand as great structures, all right, in ancient Kemet, they sit on all fours. They sit on all four as a sturdy foundation. The being on all four gave you direction. It gave you a sturdy foundation. And all fours was actually your throne. It was the throne that you sit on when you reach the number 4. Because as you reach the number 4, you reach what is considered to be Naju, or what is considered to be the femur bone of the Messiah. Thank you, my brother. Yo, I'm happy to be a grandfather today, man. A grandfather once again. Yo, look, my first son, Taquan, he had his first son and he named him after himself. And my son Domingo, he named his son after himself. Yo, the men, let me tell you something, men. Yo, we important, yo. And I don't want to take away from the woman when I'm saying this. Please, let's not get weird. Let's not get weird. All right? But let me tell you something, men. I want to big y'all up real quick. or big us up real quick. We're very important to the evolution of our species. All right? To keep it real. Why do you think the child takes after our name as a man? It's not the fact that it's any less than a woman's any less than us. No, because genetically, if you look at that Y chromosome, it mutates. It mutates. Every time a species takes a certain position, the Y chromosome mutates, and it mutates through the man, or changes in a certain direction in evolution through the man. All right? And this is proven. You got the double X, which is the woman, and then you got the XY, which is the man. And the reason why the one leg is broken off, because it sets room for mutation or changes in the genetics. All right? The double X is to hold the genetics, is to keep it in the same purity, in a sense, to keep it in the same purity, so it's able to copy itself from the feminine perspective, or from the feminine energy. But we as men, like I said, we are important in the discovery of the universe. You can trace the your lineage back by the Y chromosome. By the Y chromosome, you can trace literally who and where you came from as a tribe. All right? And this is real talk. And I want you to know, you got to make your name great. You got to make your name great. Because when they look at that Y chromosome, they look at you as a man. When they look at your son, when they go examine your son and say, yo, man, 99.9%, except for that 1%, that's him. They say 99% is you, right? Why do you think they say that as a man when you take the test? That only 1% is them. But genetically, they get, half and half from their mother. You know what I'm saying? But just going back to the Y, I'm telling you, the Y, that 99% is you. That 1% is them. Because they are the 1 and you are the 99. Okay? And this is everything that flows between the 1 and the 9, which is the Alpha and Omega, once again. All right? Yo, I announce you as a king, my brother. I announce you, brother Capra, as a Messiah. Thank you, King Crucial. Yo, man, it feels good to be a grandfather, man. To look 100 years into the future. And the way we are living in this new age called information, we're probably looking 1,000 years in the future when we see our grandchildren. And then, what I look at too, right? Grandfatherhood, brother King Crucial. This is what I look at too, bro. I look at being a grandfather. It's not like the grandfathers of old. You know what I'm saying? Like, we think about our grandfathers. They some old geezers. They was some old geezers listening to jazz music. Man, they was just some old time people, man. Man, you go to the store. Man, my grandpa be like, yo, man, a soda costs 99 cents. He wanted his penny. You make sure bring his change and his penny back. You know what I'm saying? But this is old people, man, that I'm thinking like grandpops. I'm like, damn, man. And I don't look at myself as that type of grandfather. I look at myself as an ancestor. Because when I look at myself, I see myself doing all the things like I'm feeling like I'm young. Only thing is, I'm probably in an older body at this point. And if my seeds and my seeds can look at me, I want them to look at me from all perspectives. But I want them to see the characteristics from within of who I was or who I am. All right? To this date, I have 14 children to this date. All right? I have 11 male children and I have 3 female children. I have 2 grandchildren who are males. So imagine that. You know, in 100 years, the computer said I should have at least brought 1,000 people into this world. I'm serious. I did an algorithm check on, just my genetics in general, because for some reason I have some sort of whatever to be fruitful like this. Not everybody has that. Keep it real. Keep it 100. And to have all these males and so forth. But the algorithm said I'll be the ancestor of over 1,000 people. Over 1,000 people, man. That is phenomenal. And you think 100 years after that 1,000 probably is going to be 1,000,000. It's going to be 1,000,000 people. You think 200 years? You say 200 years into the future? Man, that's probably 1,000,000 people. I'll be an ancestor that came from me. Yo, you said richness? Man, that's richness. So the idea now is what to do. It's just to be the example. It's be the example and leave a legacy behind, that represents something of integrity. Man, you can say everything about yourself, but do you roll with integrity? Do you have honor and integrity? Do you do the things that are honorable in this world? Say, man, come on, man. Yeah, we all have some sort of vengeance and some stuff, but do you operate in honor? Keep it real. Because, man, we get mad at each other at times, and we do certain things to hurt one another as a species, also in relationships. But at the end of the day, if we create a child, or if we do something to forge a life in this universe, it is our responsibility together to make this child the best thing we can. And if you do it one-sided, that's showing that you really don't love the child at all. Let me keep it real. And I don't mean to bust nobody's bubble. I'm saying you claim you love, I don't want to bust nobody's bubble, man. But you know what I'm talking about. It is an impossibility to claim that you love a child and you keep a child from its father or from his or her father. And you claim, yo, man, the world is against me, and the world is that, and the world offers me something bad in a bad end. Well, look what you probably doing to the world as well. Man, it's been so many damaged relationships, so many damaged situations that people could have avoided to make better, man. Because we supposed to be grown folks, man. We supposed to be at a level of maturity, especially us being conscious nowadays. Man, we supposed to be at a level of maturity where we can do what's best for the children, man. We keep it real. And I would hope that. Yo, when my son called me today, man, he called me with smiles on his face. Like, he called me a video. I'm so glad I'm in the future where we got video call and I just see his face, what it looked like. Because that's my joy, man. Like, a lot of people don't understand that when it comes to a male child, man, your father is like the one that is not a hater. He's the one that can be the only man that can be the most proud of you. I mean, keep it real. For all the fathers, you know what I'm saying. Your father is the man that can be the most proud of you. You can go look at all these other men in the world, yo. But your father is the man that is the most proud of you. I'm telling you, anytime I see my son do a new trick, my son doing something special, yo, it warms. It's like I get a high that doesn't go down. Keep it real. I get a high that doesn't go down. It's a warm feeling inside of joy that it just, man, yo, bro, Kepera, bro. Yo, bro, it's like, man, today I cried tears of joy. And just thinking about it, it just touches my heart. Yo, I saw my son, he's just smiling. And he knows how important it is with the love because I showed him love. I showed him the love, like, inside me. I always express like crazy love for him, yo. And you know what's so scary about this shit? I'll bust y'all up, man. Pardon me for cussing. His mom actually kept him from me. Imagine this. His mom kept him from me, I'ma say, the majority of his life. She went and got married to some dude, right? And I'm not a hater, just not a hater, all right? Because, okay, they got married and boom, 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 boom. But this dude, he actually used to like kind of really disrespect me in a certain type of way. And that man never even knew me, or I never even knew him. But that man would run my name into the ground, and in actuality, and to the point where they almost try to change my son's last name. Oh my God. Like, and all my son wanted to do was reach out to me, yo. This shit is crazy. This is my word to God. I'm telling y'all the truth about this. All right, I got to see my son like when he was like probably like 11. I brought all his brothers down to see him. All right, all his brothers. I had 7 kids at that time, at that point. And I brought all of them to go see their brother. I said, this is your brother right here. You know what I'm saying? And I went to go see him through his grandmother. So it just was just so much static, so much weird stuff. And then from that point, they were just keeping him from me. When the boy finally turned 18 years old, you know what he did, right? Let me tell you what he did. The boy went out and came and sought me, yo. My son, as soon as he turned 18, he called me up, found me on Facebook. He said, yo, Dad, man, look, listen. I moved out of my mom's house. I'm with my grandma. I just didn't want no trouble with me trying to contact you. That's why I just didn't contact you on Facebook, but I've been searching you out on Facebook. This is my son. He's fucking 18 years old now. He said, Dad, I was searching you out through Facebook and I found you. I was like, dang, man, I was so happy. Yo, my son, this is the son that just had a child this year, today, rather. Yo, he was like, yo, Dad, where do you live at? I want to come see you. I got a car now. He's telling me, he's loading up all this stuff on me. I was like, son, I live in Baltimore. This is when I lived in Baltimore. I'm like, son, I live in Baltimore, man. I said, man, you can come anytime. He said, Dad, I'm going to come tomorrow. I was like, man, come tomorrow, man. You can just spend the weekend, whatever, man. We can chill. He was like, Dad, he came to see me. This boy drove 2.5 hours to come see me. Word to God. Fresh 18. He was probably 18 a couple weeks. You understand? This is so deep. And when I finally got to see him after all these years, I didn't get to see him ever since he was like 11, 12. Now he's 18 years old. He's literally a young man. Man, I embraced him so much, man. I cried so many tears, man. It felt like a fucking Color Purple moment. It felt like, damn. It felt like, man, I don't even want to reflect on it. Yo, man, it felt crazy to see my son after them years, and he was just a baby in my arms. A baby, 11, and then he's a grown man. Fuck, man. So, like, my son just started coming seeing me, coming chilling with me. He starts spending time at my house. Man, and this shit just really it really, like, every time he came and see me, it really, like, touched my heart, man. It touched my heart so much. Just to know that my son wanted to make that connection with me. And I wanted to make it with him. And ever since, we've been so freaking tight. Like, he calls me up for the littlest things for wisdom. For just a little bit of wisdom, man. And I'm going to tell you, no matter if he fall or if he gets up or however he does it, he's still my son, man. He's still my son, man, and I'm so proud of him. He had his first son today, and you know how important it was to him for him to be there? It was so, like, in his gut, saying, "Yo, Dad, I'm there. I'm with this. I'm gonna do this." And he's holding his son tight. All right? Giving his best. That makes me proud as a father. Now, that's a warm feeling, like, right here, yo. Like I said, man, that's like a man. This is something for all you men and all the women. I want you to listen. When you think of your son, if you got a son and you're a woman, yo, his father is the one man that can be truly, truly proud of him more than anybody in the world. Any man in the world, rather. As a woman, you can be proud of him because you his mother. But I'm talking about as a father. When you look at your son, man, you look at yourself, man. And it's, like I said, it's proven by the Y chromosome. You can trace that child back to his father. All right? They test out and find out the child's father by what? The Y chromosome that the father passed on to his son. It's literally a notch or a mutation that he creates in the Y chromosome that's his own. All right? And certain men, we change it. We collectively create a new species. Let me keep it real. When you look at certain men, when they're able to have many male children, they're actually creating a new species. Let me keep it real. They're creating a new species. Why do you think some men have X, Y, Y? And they be like, oh man, sometimes they think that's a deficiency, or they think it's something, whatever. It causes anger in men, or it causes whatever. They had so many reports on an X, Y, Y. All right? But it's certain men that are able to create literally generations. They are born, or they're manifested here on this planet to create generations. And am I going to say I'm one of them men? I can say yes, I am one of them men. All right? It's proven by my genealogy. It's proven. All right? And then when I look at my children, all of them special. All of them have a certain different quality about themselves, man. You look at your child, man. Start looking at your children. Start seeing different qualities that they have of themselves and how, what they bring to the world. And when you see that, you nurture it. You really nurture it to a certain degree, whereas though you don't take anything from them. Like, let's say they're into music, or they're into a certain art, or they're into gymnastics, or they're into this and such and such. You got to nurture that ability because it is a reflection of who you are, but it might be something that's in the darkness that you have yet to bring forth, and you have to bring it forth through them. Yo, man, fatherhood, motherhood, parenthood, let me tell y'all something about this, yo. That shit didn't come with a playbook. I don't care what nobody telling you, what anybody what counseling, weird shit that they want to send you through. Parenthood did not come with any type of playbook, yo. Like, all of us are learning on the fly. Like, we all literally learning on the fly how to be parents. We all learning on the fly how to juggle this situation. Nobody said, here, yo, here's the playbook for parenthood. Here's the playbook for fatherhood. Here's the playbook for love. Here's the playbook for relationship. Here's the playbook for friendships. Here's the playbook for communication. But everybody wants to hold us accountable for such and such. All right? We all learning on the fly. And when we admit our mistakes, that we're not perfect, that we're truly learning on the fly, that we're learning to be better, or we're becoming better, and we're able to accept that, that's when we will be better. Simple. Just really simple, yo. Yo, I speak to you as a grandfather. I speak to you as a father. I speak to you as a brother. I speak to you as an uncle. I speak to you as a cousin. I speak to you as literally one of your family members that's calling and crying out to you for what we need to do to make this or make this ship, to right this ship, or what we call a relationship, to keep it afloat, so to say. Yeah, that's what I'm sharing with you, because let me tell y'all something, real talk. I've been through many wars, many battles. I got many battle scars, man, from different relationships, man. I didn't seen it all, if you want me to tell you. And I learned this too. You ever notice when the old folks be like, they be like, yo, don't hang around such and such. They be like, yo, don't hang around such and such. They be like, or they be like, you bring a new girlfriend, or you bring a new boyfriend in the picture, and then the old folk be like, nah, something ain't good right with that. You know what? I'm figuring that out now. As I have gotten older and seen different cycles over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, it gives me a precursor and a warning to things that are that could happen again. So yeah, man, it's real talk, man. So I learned so many things about seeing the cycles of things. You know, it says that in Genesis 1:14, that's the animated and the dormant, because you got 1 and a 4. 1 is the A and 4 is the D. AD deals with time. Anno Domini, or animated and dormant. All right? So when you think about that, it talks about it in Genesis 1:14 about the cycles, measuring cycles with time. We measure time through cycles and the things that go on through certain cycles that happen over and over again. Man, King, man, Father, I'm so touched by your family love. Hearts and kings and hearts. It is wonderful to feel you this evening. Teach parenthood, communication. Thank you so very much for sharing. No problem, Queen. Number 16 deals with quarantine. It deals with like staying away from certain things, purifying yourself in certain ways too. Number 16 is called the surgeon. Its weapon of choice, of course, the surgeon, is the sword, but it's not the big sword. It's the little sword, which is the scalpel, to cut away that which doesn't belong. Okay? That's the number 16, and it guards what is considered to be the left collarbone of the Messiah. When you're thinking about the collarbone, you're thinking about the work that needs to be done on yourself. You got the left collarbone, which is the white collarbone, all right, because the left deals with the mind. It deals with like creativity and imagination. It deals with the right side of the brain. But when we're talking about the right side of the body, like if I go to the right collarbone deals with the physical portion of your body, because, you know, the right side is connected with the left. Okay? It's crisscross when it comes to your brain. The left is controlling the right, and the right is controlling the left. All right? So it's like symbolic too. It has a symbolic meaning when it comes to spirituality, your body. Like when I express certain things, like I express it from the portion of the body that we collectively hold as our own manifestation. All right? That's what I reflect. Like I can go back into different ancient Egypt and different spiritualities and stuff like that, but I'd rather just reflect on the body. When I talk about real spirituality, I'm actually going back to the Taino at this point, if you want to know. Now, we're always called the Walu. The Walu means collective consciousness or divine manifestation. But when I'm talking about my tribal, I'm talking about my tribe where I descended from, I'm saying Taino. Now, it's various other tribes where we have Arawak as well as African lineage. It's not just, I don't know, what do you want to call it? But we have Arawak as well as African lineage. And we have European lineage as well, a lot of us. No doubt. All right? But no doubt that we got that Arawak lineage as well. And these people descended from South America. But you know, collectively, you know, you can see how, you know, they do genetic studies of how people traveled and moved across the world and genetically mutated, in a sense, to the races that we hold dear today. All right. But this was at one point one landmass. So those people didn't walk all the way from freaking Africa to India to Australia to Asia to Russia to Alaska to Canada to North America to South America to Central America to South. That shit didn't go like that. Like, who the hell's gonna take that long ass walk? I'm gonna keep it real. Like, yes, of course, the migration over thousands and thousands of years, people pushing out, but we didn't push out from one centrifuge. All right, at one point, if this was one landmass, we came from the germination. You said, man, what you say? You said, I felt this same feeling when my father died. Infinite joy, but infinite sorrow simultaneously. I felt all the world's feelings today. I felt all the world's feelings today. Man, yo, bro. It is a 131 moment right now. 11:31. Cool. Wherever we are on the planet, anytime you see 131, I want you to say Kum, bro. Kum, you spell Kum. I know you're a tribal member, so I'm going to say like this. You recognize who you are, so I'm going to give it to you like this. This is how we say, it's like amen, or if you want to say it like that. It's kind of like amen. It's like kind of like confirmation. But Kum actually represents when the lightning strikes your mind. And then the expression of your heart is Kum. It becomes the thunder. You hear me, bro? Kum. And when you say Kum, you actually hit the ground. Kum. Or hit your heart. Kum. You hit your heart or hit the ground when you say that at the same time. All right? Like, it's time to resurrect our people, man. You know, the people of the Taino, let me tell you something about the people of the Taino real quick. Now, we hail from the Greater and Lesser Antilles, but we migrated literally from Brazil and Venezuela, all right? And we migrated into those islands, man, between let's see, it's like probably about 3000 BC. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I can go look it up right now. And I got a couple books that's really giving reference before then. And what you got to note about the problem about carbon dating places like fucking South America and stuff like that, it's really hard to carbon date it because it's so hot. The climate is so hot, so it just speeds up everything. All right, it's so hot and moist, it just literally speeds up everything. All right, so yeah, this is an important thing to realize, that you know we have a lineage that is very, very rich. It's very rich. Okay? But the Taino people, they practice a certain way of life. Okay? Like, for instance, you know, when Christopher Columbus describes him in his journal, he described them as knowing no hatred. No, they didn't know anything about war, or they didn't know anything about murder and so forth. They didn't know any things like this. This wasn't a part of their society. So you got to ask yourself collectively, what type of principles did these people have, or they endured, in order for them to have such a way of life? It was an honor system. Taino simply means, it's an adjective. It simply means good people, because Tai means honorable. It represents honor. All right? And no is a people, is the people itself. It also connects you up with Nu, which is ancient Egypt, which is the chaotic waters of creation. Nu, which is feminine, Nunet. All right, so it all has a connection in a certain type of way. We all have a connection, but I personally think all religion, all spiritualities, all the stuff that people worship back in the day, it needs to be upgraded. I personally think that, because I personally feel they all made the shit up. I really feel that. Ancient Egypt, you go back, they made the shit up. You go back to the Yoruba, they made the shit up. All right? You want to say, damn, this is deep. You go back to freaking all this, man, they made it up. But the problem is, it was true to them. And it was the way that they connected up to the universe, because the universe is eternal. The universe is truth. So the way they dialed in was just the way they dialed in. It doesn't represent the way that we dial in at this point, because we represent a generation that embraces new aspects of what reality represents, and we have different tests than the ancient ones have. We have, and I'm not going to say one is greater than the other, but what I'm saying is that you are great as well. Don't sit here and try to sit here and wonder and think about something of greatness when you are that. All right? Messiah. I don't want to have to talk you into your greatness or coerce you into your greatness. Just know that you're great. All right? But the technology needs to be upgraded. Their information needs to be upgraded through us, through the things that we live in, the principles and the guidance that we can bring forth. You know, I showed y'all something. Let me do this for y'all real quick. I'm going to show y'all something, some Taino stuff real quick. Show y'all some real good Taino stuff real quick. Yo, look. All right, we talking about, yeah. I showed y'all this. Different things in the slides. All right. This is called a semi, of course. All right. This is an object utilized to channel the force. All right. Now you might say, man, this stuff looks scary. Yeah, it's because it's the word off the evil spirit that's in you. All right. Real talk. It's the word off the evil spirit that's in you. Now you have various different semis. Okay. and various different symbols that connected the Taino people up. As you see, these are petroglyphs that was drawn. And you say, man, some of these look like aliens. Did they encounter aliens? I don't know. But as we know, that it certainly is a turtle. You know, these are petroglyphs in the caves of Puerto Rico. The people drew thousands of years ago. All right. They existed there before Christopher Columbus and all of them people. We go back to Teotihuacan, and I've showed people this too, man. These are mounds of the Arawak people, who a lot of us are descendants of. They're the Arawakan lineage, the Austinoids, the Saladoid people that migrated through the continent of South America and up to the greater and lesser Antilles, up into Florida, and then up into Georgia. Come on, man. All these tribes mixed into each other, and they had a way to connect up, because whether you know it or not, man, being monolingual is not like most of the people of the world speak more than one language. Y'all hear me? Meaning that most people of the world are bilingual. At this point in ancient times, you probably spoke 5 or 6 different languages. Let me keep it real. At this point in time, talking about these people, they probably spoke 5 or 6 different languages. So when they connecting up and they doing trade and they linking up with their people, they was their people. All right? To keep it real, Jaguar Pyramid. Why people ever say, man, I don't want to go there. Man, I don't want to see the Jaguar. This is a great structure that your ancestors created. Now you're going to deny your ancestors, say, oh man, they ain't my ancestors. Oh, they probably not. But to a lot of us, these are our ancestors too, that created these great structures. And it's time for us to give reference. It's time for us to give honor and respect. You feel me? Real talk. So, and I showed you the Austinoid, the Autoroid people, which is 5,500, 200 BC. This is BC, man. The Chrome Bay culture, Virgin Islands. This is 1500 BCE. BC, 1500 to 200 BCE, BC. The Caruso culture, Puerto Rico. This is 1000 BC. 1,000 BC, yo. 1,000 years before Christ. A lot of the Taino people that are doing tests nowadays, they're testing themselves from a female that was over 1,200 years in Puerto Rico. Yeah, man. It's time to give reference to our heritage. Yo, whether you know it or not, man. What is the witch of Salem? Her name was Tuda or something. What's the freaking name? If y'all know who I'm talking about, the first witch of Salem that they hunted down, her name was Tuda or something like that. It was y'all got. If y'all can help me, let me know. Y'all know about this. She was an Arawakan woman. She was not African. Man, when you go do the research on her, she was sold into slavery. All right, but the fact is that she was of an Arawakan descent, but they thought her to be Negroid or to be African. You get what I'm saying? So this is what I'm trying to tell you, that it was all types of Arawakan people, man. It was all types. And a lot of them didn't just have straight hair. They had wavy hair too. They were very dark with wavy hair. With like thick wavy hair. I'm just telling you. That's how they look. All right? Austinoid culture. The Saladoid culture. Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. 1000 BC, man. This is culture. Now, you're going to say, man, we going back to Egypt. We go back way before that. I get all that. But these are things that you cannot deny as well. You cannot deny who and what you came from. Because a lot of us, we have a lineage from these people. All right? Because these people spread out. This was our Egypt over here in United States, excuse me, I don't mean saying that. And the Western Hemisphere. These places were our Egypt, man. They were our Egypt. Keep it real. People left their handprints and stuff. You know? Pottery semi. Let me break this down. I only want 10 more minutes of y'all time. I ain't gonna push this too long. A pottery semi. Let me tell y'all something. Let me break this stuff down like nobody ever broke it down. When you think of a pottery semi, now remember I told you a semi was a way that the Taino and various other tribes looked at the way higher forces manifest themselves or anchor themselves in this reality. So they call it a semi. Okay? Now, what happened is this. They had various types of semi, or an embodiment, or to anchor to certain spirit or to certain force. One of them was called the pottery semi. Now, the pottery semi was a ceramic vessel carved or painted with symbols. The symbolism is used in rituals. These vessels could represent connections to the water, fertility, and other concepts, spiritual concepts. And I'm going to break that down to you. Because when you think about the water takes the shape of any vessel. All right? So you allow the water to take the shape of your vessel. The pottery semi represented yourself, because you mold the pottery, you mold the shape of the pottery on the potter's wheel. And this is also symbolic of Khnum in ancient Egypt, when he molds the soul of an individual. This is back the same thing as the Taino with the pottery semi, how they associated this with fertility and the idea of being molded by the universe. Okay? And it was also a divine connection to the water, okay, which replenished the soul. And then, just to keep it basic, you got the humanoid semi. When they made semi or embodiments or anchors of the divine spirit in a humanoid form, all right, it represented the ancestral powers or the powers of the entities in the Taino themselves. All right. It represented the idea and the aspect that the ancestor is flowing through you, and it's anchored by the remembrance of who they were. Like you have it now when you think of a name of your father, or you put up your father or your mother on the picture in the wall and they passed away, or you put up your grandmother, you think about them in the same way. Well, we didn't have no daggone pictures or to make pictures back in the day, so they created a humanoid semi in order to represent the ones of the old that they reflected upon. All right? Keep it real. You got stone semi. All right? So, carved stone figures depicting various spiritual entities. The symbolism, each stone semi had its own significance, representing different aspects of nature and ancestral spirits. So when you think about the stone, it's really dealing with the heart and spirit. The heart and spirit, like how a lot of y'all are hard-headed. Y'all literally like a stone. So you must be carved in every situation that you go through, every conversation that you go through. It's like a chip away in the stone. You know, one thing is, I showed you about the pottery semi, and what's inside the pottery semi is water. And whether you know it or not, water can cut through rock. Water can cut through rock. It has the ability to cut through the surface and the barrier of the rock. And the and that is the same thing with you, because the water takes the shape of your spirit. So it's able to cut through the barrier or the surface of the rock within you. All right? When you're being hard-headed. To the point that, you know, once you're chiseled away so much to perfection, you're able to go into the pyramid of life. All right? Because you're a perfect ashlar. You're a perfect ashlar. And every situation has perfected the edges of your blockhead. For real. All right, look. Yeah, the feather. Embrace the feather. The feather spirituality steers us straight. That the natives, they actually used to put the feathers on their arrows to steer them straight, and the feather was the ancient pen to steer your actions straight as well. And in ancient Egypt, they would weigh the feather with the heart to balance it out. So in Taino cosmology and the way we connect with this world, the feather is the same process. That's why we wear it on our head. All right, so you got the Duho Semi. So the Duho Semi is a representation of the wooden seat, all right, which is symbolic of your throne. It's like a way to relax, a way to connect up, but it's also a way for you to rule. It's also a way for you to rule the world that you live in and take your royalty and your crown. And your rulership is not done by tyranny and the oppression of people. Your rulership is by a provision, providing for everyone abundantly. That is a great grand ruler, and that's what we were as Taino people, and that's what we are now, collectively as the Walu. All right? So I'm gonna leave it with that. You feel me? I'm gonna leave it with that. And say I love y'all, man. Yo, man, I really hope that people can take a little bit of this information and grow from it. That is my hopes. This is the Messiah Code. I am Solar Prime Supreme 131 Lazarus Lamel of the Messiah Code movement. All right? And I love y'all. So I'm going to give you a 747, 24/7, 361 degrees, as you know it is in the circle. Thank you for your time. Thank you for everyone that came through, past, present, and future. Thank you. Link up. I got the email right there. Make sure you send the email if you want any new books. Check it out. I'll send y'all some new books, man. Just email, say, yo, send a book. All right. Also, anybody in prison, if y'all got anybody in prison, somebody that's locked up or something, we're going to start a pen pal thing for people that are in prison. We're going to send some stuff to them, a care package to them. All right. So if I don't see you before the holidays, I want to say happy holidays. Make it the best. Don't be a hater. Enjoy the times, man. No matter what people call it, it's still a celebration of the moment. It don't matter. All right? You can put any label you want on it. Just connect up. And be the Messiah you truly are. Be the Messiah you truly are and change the world. All right? So, kum and salutations to the primes. Y'all have a blessed night.